he's in there for murder. He goes, but there is a way I can get out. He goes, if somebody kills the witness. He goes, would you do it? I was like, I'm in jail. How can I do it?
Right.
He goes, what happens if we can get you out of it? I was a young kid trying to work so much, taking care of a girl with a kid. A guy comes to me and says, would you like to make some more extra money?
Right.
I say, yeah, no problem. He goes, I get weed from Arizona sent here in a car. What we do is we would buy the car, but we're really buying the pot that's in the car.
Right.
And we started off 100 pounds a month, and then we worked our way all the way to 100 pounds. I was averaging 100 pounds a day. That's what we were getting. We would bag it and everything and sell it. The car would come at night into a building, and we would take everything out of it. And my other friend, he would pack everything up for us. He was the main seller. I was just the person, the middleman.
All right.
As that's happening, I ended up getting more of addiction with the perks. Because I'm making more money, I'm taking more. So I ended up doing 30s, 15 30s a day I'm up to.
Okay.
I need 3 just to get out of bed. I stopped, this is for 3 years I'm doing this. All of a sudden, I'm like, I can't sell the weed anymore.
Right.
I was just getting nervous, doing it, But I didn't save any money from doing this. I just kept spending the money because I have a $2,000 a week habit.
At this point? Yeah.
Yes, $2,000 a week just in the perks, the 30s.
Right.
I end up stopped doing that. I go work for a bread company, selling bread, delivering at night. So
you stopped selling.
I stopped selling altogether.
Well, I mean, is there a reason? Just somebody get busted? Were you scared?
No, I was just getting scared, Matt. I was getting really scared doing it. I stopped doing it. The people that I stopped working with, they thought I was stopped because I was gonna rat.
Right.
So they kept calling my house, and I'm like, dude, I just don't want to deal with this anymore. Because I was making good money at the bread company.
Right.
Even though it wasn't enough to cover my habit, eventually I was thinking I would stop doing the perks and, So I stopped doing that. And then one morning I get a call, the girl that I was dating at the time. She's like, you need to get home right away. There's bullet holes in our house. That night, so the night before,
right,
a guy comes to my door, knocks on my door. There's like a window with a blind. I lift the blind. I go, hello? And he goes, is Mike Aresco there? I'm just looking at him. He's got a hoodie on with the hoodie, and his hands are in his pockets. I'm like, I don't even say, I go, he goes, do you know where he lives? And I just go.
Right.
And he goes, okay. I call the cops.
Right.
I'm like, I don't know. A guy just came to my house. He looks sketchy.
Yeah.
The cops come. They were like, there's nobody here. What do you
want us to do? Yeah. We can take a report.
So I end up leaving. I go to work. I don't know.
You worked at night or something?
I worked at night.
Okay.
I just had a weird feeling. I told the girl that I was dating with her kid, I go, why don't you go to your parents' house? I go, I just have a weird feeling. So she goes home that morning to get ready for work and to bring the kid to school. She's like, you need to get home right away. There's bullet holes everywhere in the house, in the TV, everywhere. I get there, there's cops everywhere. Somebody shot my house up with an AK-47 16 times.
Okay, listen. How serious? I mean, it sounds like you're selling bud. And then you decide it's not like you got arrested.
No.
And the cops are
never
questioning you or there's an investigation. Like, these guys are, so what? You don't want to sell, like, who gives a fuck? Like, what?
Yeah.
Why? How serious are they?
The guy that was in charge, he was very paranoid.
Right.
Like, he thought I was like, no, dude. I was like, dude, I don't want nothing to do with this anymore. I was just getting a lot, because I was putting it in my car. And my friend that came into my car, he goes, Mike, your car stinks of bud. You
get pulled over.
This
They're
is
searching
bad.
the car. Yeah.
And, I thought about that for a few months. I'm like, he's right, Especially I'm with a girl. She's got a kid. She has no idea that I'm doing this.
Okay.
She really has, she just thinks I'm making good money, doing produce and bread.
Right.
So I get to the house. There's cops everywhere. I can't even go up the driveway. So I park my car next door. I run up. They come and they're searching my body for gang tattoos. I was like, I'm not in a gang. They're like, do you know who did this? At first, I'm like, no, I have no idea. Because at first, I really didn't know who did this.
Right.
You know, I didn't know that this would come to this, you know? So I'm thinking. She comes to me. She goes, you need to tell them the truth. She goes, because this is bad. So I do tell them the truth. But not right away. I don't tell them. So they keep bringing me in, asking me, do you know who did this? Do you know who did this? I keep saying no. So she goes to live with her parents. I go live with my parents. We're still together, though.
Yeah.
At the time, we were still together. So at the time, I got a new phone. I never activated the voicemail. So I just so happened to do it. This was like 3 days after. I just so happened to do it. I get a voicemail from the guy that I was selling the bud for. He goes, we're going to kill you if you don't come back here, if you need you to tell us what you're doing. I never heard that voicemail before.
Right.
Until then, 3 days after. So I showed the cops the voicemail. Because they showed me a lineup of the guy.
Yeah.
Because they thought they knew who it was.
Right.
I knew the guy as soon as I saw him. But I was like, no, he's not there. So as soon as so this was the first day. 3 days after, I start talking to them. I knew the number of what the guy, 1 through 8, about the guy on the picture.
Yeah.
They showed 8 different people. I knew right away what number he was.
Right.
I didn't even have to see it again.
Yeah.
So it was like, you remembered, so you
6.
knew.
Yeah.
I'll never forget it. It was number 8. I'll never forget it. I remember his face. So they end up doing a big investigation. But for some reason, they never brought me in they only brought me into the grand jury, but they never brought me in to testify for some reason.
Right.
I never knew that why they didn't do that, but so the weird thing is that out of all of us that did it, the time the trial came, one guy, Anthony, he ended up going to jail. He was the head guy.
Right.
He ended up ratting on the shooter. The shooter ended up getting 20 years.
Was the shooter the main guy that was threatening you, or did he had somebody else do it?
He had somebody else do it. The thing is this. After the guy, Anthony, got out of jail, he ended up getting out of jail early. I talked to him after. He was like, Mike, I never sent him to shoot. I have no idea why you know what I mean? I never believed him, though, because you threatened me on a voicemail, you dummy.
Yeah.
You know? But
it's hard to believe you when you say we're gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
The next day, my house gets shot up by one of your buddies.
Matt, the bullet holes were like this. They were huge.
Yeah.
They went from the top of the house all the way to the backyard, right through to the backyard. That's how strong they were.
Right.
And he did it from at least 10 feet away, 20 feet away. He was.
These weren't warning shots, right?
No, man.
If anybody's in the house, there's going to be
If the girl and kid was in bed,
Yeah.
they went right through the frame and everything.
an AK-47 is just horribly deadly. Yeah.
But for those 3 days, I just kept, they were in the back of my head, but I'm like, why would they shoot up my house? You know what I mean?
Right.
So
So I do have a question. Did you tell the police I was selling for these guys?
yeah, so they
Did
ended
you break it down to
They ended
explain?
up telling me, they were like, listen, at first I told them it was over money. It was
Right.
over 800, but they were like, nobody's going to shoot at your house over $800.
Right.
I don't know why. I just kept trying to leave the weed out.
Yeah.
So they made me sign a paper saying that they would not charge me with anything other than if I murdered somebody. So I told them the story that we would get 100 pounds of weed, it wasn't every day, but that's what we averaged out selling. And we would come from a car from Arizona. They asked me, do you know who the guy's name is? I was like, I don't know who the guy is in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I never met him. The middleman, the guy Anthony knows everybody,
Yeah.
So I just told them the truth. I was like, I was selling weed, this and that. They were like, so where's the money? I was like, I have a drug problem. There is no money.
Right.
I was like, it gets spent on, I'm spending it before I even get it.
Right.
So, so the guy Anthony, he goes to jail. He doesn't. He gets. No, I'm sorry. He ends up going to jail for only 5 years because he ends up testifying on the shooter.
When I was locked up, I thought a lot about home cooked meals. Now that I'm free, I try to enjoy them as much as I can. That's why I like HelloFresh. It makes cooking easy, even if you're busy. The meals are simple, they taste great, and they bring everyone to the table. They've got over 100 recipes every week from all over the world. Big portions too, so nobody leaves hungry. If you're trying to eat better, they've got more than 35 high-protein meals each week. They also use good ingredients, like seafood that's sourced the right way, and chicken with no antibiotics or hormones. And the quality, you can taste it. Now they've got more seafood, grass-fed steak, and fresh produce like pears, apples, and asparagus. Because when dinner tastes this good, nothing hits like home cooking. I use HelloFresh, and you should too. Go to HelloFresh.com/ITC10FM to get 10 free meals plus a free Zwilling knife, a $144.99 value on your third box. Offer valid while supplies last. Free meals applied as discount on first box. New subscribers only. Varies by plan.
Which, I don't know, it doesn't make sense because he's the one who sent the freaking shooter.
Yeah. Well, no, that makes sense. What doesn't make sense is him saying, I didn't send him to shoot it up. Well, then how are you testifying against him? Obviously you're testifying that, yeah, this is the shooter. I know I sent him.
So the shooter ends up getting 20 years. And on the stand, the only thing he said was, the judge asked, do you have any last words? He shouts out. He doesn't even say my name. He goes, the guy Anthony's a rat. That's the only thing he said on the stand. When the judge asked him, do you have any last words, whatever it is they ask him.
And this is Boston.
Yeah.
Like, they're fucking hardcore in Boston.
So I end up, ratting. Yeah, I ended up ratting that case,
I like cooperation,
Yes,
but that's
yes.
fine. That's
So I move on.
Nobody that hates me and yells at me about this, they never use cooperation. It's always snitch or rat, but that's fine. It's...
It's funny too. Nobody even knows that I actually told in that case either.
Yeah, well, I don't get, the guy shoot. Well, what is your alternative? I'm going to go I'm going to go grab a gun and I'm going to go to their fucking house? You don't even know who shot him up, and it doesn't matter. What am I doing? I got a girlfriend and a fucking kid, and I'm trying to get out of this, and you guys are shooting my house up.
So they didn't even know that I was doing that until I told to the officers. They didn't even know that I was selling anything until then. But they told me, they were like, thank God you said something because we were going to lock you up because we found, they found scales in the back of my garage.
Right.
I was like, what are you going to do? It's just scales. They didn't find any because no bud was ever at the house.
Right.
Because she didn't even know that I was doing it.
Right.
I ended up meeting another girl. We started dating 3 years. I ended up I do get clean.
Mm-hmm. I
get back on doing the perks and stuff. And I'm a maniac when I'm very violent right off the rip whenever I'm on them. So she had money, the girl. She told me, at the time I was working, she was like, I don't want you to work. I just want you to stay home, cook, clean, take care of the dogs. I'll give you $350 a week. And I'm like,
jeez.
Gets me a car right off the rip, 350Z. Right off the rip. I'm like, wow, this is great. So I ended up doing that. I was with her for 2 years.
Okay.
We break up, because I'm not gonna lie, I really am too much when I'm on them.
Right.
I'm just violent, crazy, 0 to 100 really quick. So I was a violent person,
Right.
I was a violent person. So then we break up. I go move back with my parents. I rent from them. But we're still together.
How old are you at this point?
This was 2011. So I think I'm like 25, 26.
All right.
So we're still talking, but, we're just living separate. She said, for now, we got to do this until you get better. She thinks I'm getting clean, though, because I did cut down.
Yeah.
So, but I'm only on the 5 milligrams. I'm not taking the 30s anymore. So I did cut down then.
You're all on the mend. Did you try and go to a rehab or anything, or?
This is the thing, right? She wanted me to get off, but she didn't want me to get on like Suboxone or something.
Mm-hmm.
So this was, and the thing was this. she would keep me quiet. She would like, why don't you just drink instead? She would buy me liquor instead. I'm like, isn't that like the same thing?
Right. It's just you're just supplementing one addiction for
Yeah.
another.
So I ended up one night somebody gives me some. I couldn't find perks anywhere for some reason. Somebody goes, I have something just like it. It's called Molly,
Okay.
which I find out after it's not the same. But he goes, you put in this capsule, and then you can, take it like a pill.
Yeah.
Matt, for 3 days, I'm blacked out. I have no idea. Like somebody told me after that, I ended up going to their house, sitting on their deck for 3 hours, ringing the doorbell. And then as soon as they did answer the door, I'm like, hey, what's up? And I just walked away. Like, that's how messed up I was. This girl, she's at a friend's house. I get a ladder. I put it to the second floor window, and I go through the second floor window. Come back down, I move the ladder. And I end up staying in the guest bedroom, just staying in there for a whole day. She comes home. We get in a really bad argument, really bad.
That'll upset some people.
I think so. We ended up getting in a really bad argument, Matt. Like, it was bad. And, I don't really know what I did. She said that I grabbed her by the neck and strangled her.
All right.
I mean, I don't see me doing that, but she said I did that, We end up going upstairs. After I do it, she says, we go upstairs to her mother's bedroom. Her mother lived with her. And she screams to her mother, call the cops. So I run down the stairs. I grab the car keys. I take her car. So as I'm leaving, the cops are coming. They're passing me.
Right.
I go hide. I go to a city in the produce market where I used to work. I hide there for a few hours. Then I'm like, I can't stay here anymore. I was like, I got to go somewhere else. So I call up another girl that I used to know. I'll stay with her for a little bit. I didn't want to call my parents. As I'm driving, my mother calls me, and she said, Mike, the house is surrounded by cops. Is there something you want to tell me? I'm like, nah, Ma, nothing's wrong. I got to go. I hang up the phone. As I'm driving, I go to a city called Danvers, Massachusetts. I'm driving. A cop stops me. I pull into a parking lot.
Is this still in the girl's car?
Yeah, still in the girl's car. I was in the car the whole time, just sitting there thinking. Because I don't know if I'm like coming to, or I just start remembering, like, what the fuck did I just do?
Right.
Like Matt, like she said I don't remember doing that.
Right.
I remember arguing. I remember that I grabbed her like this and pushed her out of the way. Because if I strangled her, I can't understand why we went upstairs then to her mother's room, But I don't know. So I go to Danvers. I'm going to the girl's house now, this other girl. Mm-hmm. So just stay with her for a little bit. Cop pulls me over. I go into a parking lot, pull the car and park. The car comes up obviously stolen. They didn't know for like a couple of hours that the car was stolen anyways. So I could have been driving around the whole time. Fine. I could have, but I pull the car and park. A cop pulls out his gun and goes, if you move, I'll blow your brains out. I'm like, okay. I'm crying now. I start right off the rip. As soon as the cops, I start telling them everything. Matt. And he puts the cuffs on me, puts me back at the car. We go to the police station. Now, I don't know what they're charging me with yet. They won't tell me. Mm-hmm. They go, we got to wait for Malden to come pick you up because that's where the case is out of, Malden. So I'm there for a couple of hours. The cops come pick me up. They still won't tell me what's good. They go, we got to bring you to the police station. We go to the police station. They start doing your fingerprints and all that. They go, we're charging you with attempted murder, B&E at night, and something else. I forget.
Theft? The car?
Yeah,
Grand
there
Theft
you
Auto?
go. Yeah, there you go, the car. I start bawling my eyes out, crying. Because, I mean, other than the Bud situation, I'd never been in trouble. You know what I mean? So I called my mother.
But you weren't really in trouble then either. You didn't get in trouble.
Yeah. So I called my mother. It's the phone. I don't know if you had them in your. It was you had to keep the button on hold, but it was a speaker to call the number. Did you have that in your jail?
No.
This was the jail in the police station. So I'm calling my mother, and I stop by her. She goes, "What are they charging you with?" I go, "Mom, attempted murder." And I'm crying. She's like, "You got to be strong. You got to be strong, you know?" Because most of my uncles, they've been to prison.
Right.
You know, they're
Right.
You know, addiction runs in the family. You know, so I go to court the next day. Oh, I forgot. I have no shirt. They took my shirt for DNA evidence.
Okay.
Which
why?
I have no idea, because it's only attempted. You know, I think to say, you know, because I kept at the first I said I didn't do it.
Right.
After I told the cop that I did do it.
Yeah.
When we got to that, I was like, no, I didn't do anything. So he took my tank top. I got no shirt. I'm about to go in front of Judge Johnson. He's the worst judge to go in front of on top of it. So a kid throws me a shirt. He goes, "Put this on. You don't want to go in front of Judge Johnson like that."
Right.
So the lawyer said, "What do you want to do?" He goes, "We can do the insanity plea." He goes, "Because I think there's some problems here." And I'm like, "All right, we'll do that. Let's try that." No, I'm sorry. At first, I'm saying, just tell them I'm guilty right away. They go, "No, it doesn't work like
Yeah.
that."
You say you're not guilty.
Yeah. He go, "Oh, no, I did it. And he's like, "No, we can't do that." Then that goes, "Why don't we do the planities instead?" I'm like, "All right, we'll do that." She's there, you know, obviously. They give her a restraining order also. So I go to Bridgewater. It's a state prison, but it's for mental institution
Well,
too.
so when he gets in front of the judge, does your lawyer say, like, we'd like to have him evaluated for a mental?
Yes.
They don't immediately say, we're going to plead guilty under reason of insanity. They're going to say, we'd like to send him for a mental evaluation.
Yes, sorry. They do
Okay.
that. I'm there for 14 days. I get to court, and they tell me, so I'm there for 14
How is that?
Crazy. So I'm scared. I've never been to jail, prison, anything.
Mm-hmm.
So the kids in the tank that I was with, they were like, "Don't drink the Kool-Aid. Don't drink the." I was like, "What does that mean?" They're like, you know. I was like, "No, I really don't know. I haven't eaten in days either. I'm starving." You know, they give you those cheap sandwiches. You know,
The bologna sandwiches.
that thing was the greatest thing in the world at that time.
I love the bologna sandwiches.
So there's only one other kid coming with me up there. He's on the other side of the bus, you know, the van.
Yeah.
So he goes, "Buddy, when we get in there, we got to be together." I'm like, all right, that sounds good. That sounds good. First thing we get in there, right? He starts trying to fight the cops. They beat the crap out of him. I'm like, I'm definitely not with this dude.
Right.
They hold you in a little jail. No, like this, a little thing with bars.
Right.
Naked in front of all the cops. They're walking by, see women. I'm like, this is embarrassed. This is horrible. They put me in a single cell all by myself. The next morning, this is funny. The next morning we go to breakfast, right? I don't want to eat the food. It looks disgusting. These two kids end up getting in a fight. One kid beats the kid with a cup. Like, beats him. There's blood everywhere. I go back to my tray, right? The CEO goes, "When did you get strawberries?" I look down. It was pieces of his head.
Mm.
It looked like strawberries, Matt, in my cereal. They're like, "You can get another one if you want." I was like, "I just don't even want nothing." I don't know. It's just crazy. The cops beat you there, man. I've been to jail after that. I've never seen it like this. They beat the crap out of the kids in there.
It's a mental hospital, though, right?
There's no such thing as a hole.
No.
If you fight somebody, you go back to the same block with them. They don't separate anybody. There's a lot of there was a guy.
They're mentally ill. They're mentally ill inmates. Like, I'm sure they're extremely rowdy, right? Like, there's probably
Every day there's a fight.
Right.
Every day.
As
More
opposed
than
to
one.
when you go to prison, you realize
Yeah.
like it's not that bad. You have to bring it on yourself. I mean, mentally ill patients will attack each other for no fucking reason at all.
Yeah. It was crazy. There was one kid in there. He was in there for lighting his father on fire and watching it. Like, I was like, this is crazy. I was like, I don't belong here. I mean, I probably did at the time, but so we go to court. I get the judge comes, the lawyer comes down. He goes, "We got you a personal with an ankle bracelet." I was happy.
We got you what?
An a personal, a PIA,
Oh, okay.
with an ankle bracelet. I can get out. I'm getting
Oh, okay.
out.
A personal. I don't know what that means. You mean like
No
a bond?
bail.
Like a bond?
Yeah, it's no bail.
Okay.
They gave me no bail.
All right. So it's like ROR. We're just going to let you out on your own recognizance.
Yes,
with an ankle
we call
bond.
it a personal
Okay.
up there. I'm sorry.
No.
We call it a personal there. So I was very happy because my uncle, he came there with 40 grand, like thinking I was gonna, and they were like
Nice.
they were like with a personal. So I was happy. I get home. The next day, my buddy calls me. He goes, "The girl wants to talk to you." Now I'm not supposed to have no communication with her.
Right.
What's the first thing I say? I'm like, "Yeah, of
course.
let's talk."
We need to get her to drop those charges.
She calls me. She goes, "I don't want to press the charges anymore." She goes, "We could still work this out." So she keeps coming over. Now I'm clean now. In those 14 days I was in there, I got clean.
Yeah.
So after a week, I start taking perks again.
Because that seems like a good idea.
Of course. She finds out. She calls the cops on me. So I go back to.
It's all bad.
All bad. I go to jail. I go back. So whenever you violate a restraining order over there, you get 120 days until they want to charge you. Until they figure out what they
Period.
can. Yes.
Done. Okay.
So I got 120 days. I get back. So I do 120 days. I get back out.
But this time it's in the jail, not the.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's in the jail.
Yeah.
Billerica. So I go there for. Now I'm terrified because I know about the bud that I ratted on somebody. I thought that people would know. I don't know. For some reason, I just thought people would know.
Okay.
But no, like it was all right. Nobody knew. I kept asking for the person that I knew Anthony ratted on, the person that shot my house up.
Yeah, but you're also in jail. These guys are in prison.
I didn't know the difference, Matt.
Okay.
That's how I didn't know.
That's how green you were?
Yes, I didn't know any of this stuff. So, and they're like, no. They're like, but what did he do? I was like, I think he shot somebody's house up. And they're like, no, then he would be. They told me he'd be in Shirley Max. That's where,
The violent, that's like
Yes.
the pin. Yeah.
Yeah. So I get out of jail again. I do 120 days. They give me a bail. It was like $5,000. I pay it back on the ankle bracelet. I'm on strict only work and that working back home. And I had to see a psychiatrist. They mandatory that I had to see a psychiatrist. So that's the only time I could leave the house. So my same friend calls me. She goes, "Hey, she wants to talk to you again."
Seems like a good idea. Worked out great last time.
I'm like, all right. So
Are you clean again?
Yeah, I'm clean again.
Okay.
I never did anything in jail. No, never touched a drug in jail.
Right.
Well, one time I did, and one of the CEOs told my cellmate, "Get him back in the cell right away, please."
Right.
I was bouncing on. It was Adderall. I was. CEO Noel, I'll never forget. He was like, "Get him back in the cell right away, please," because a white shirt was coming.
Right. Which is a lieutenant.
Yes, lieutenant. Yeah, get him in the cell right away. I was bouncing up and down. Oh. So I get out. She wants to contact me. She goes, "You need to get clean." She goes, "This is not going to work if you don't get clean." I'm like, "Yeah, all right, no problem." Again, I'm out for a couple of weeks. I go back on drugs. She calls the cops again. By the third, same thing. Go back to jail.
She's not enabling you at all. She's not having it.
120 days again. I get back out. Same thing to give me more. I think it went up to 10 grand. 10 grand, ankle bracelet. I get back out. This time she doesn't want to contact me. I'm like, "Yeah, no problem, whatever." But I get so bad in the perks. I just keep calling her, Matt. I'm like, nah, we can work this out. I'm clean again.
But you're not.
No, definitely not. I'm not as bad as the perk 30s, but
Yeah, it's still bad. It's
it's still
an
bad,
issue.
Matt.
Yeah.
So she wants nothing to do with me. She finds out that I'm buying again because my buddy tells her. I go to jail again. This is the third time. Right? Yeah, third time. I go back to jail again. Finally, no, I'm sorry. I get out one more time. Matt, I got out October 28th. I was back October 30th. The CEO, when I walk in, he's like, "Oh, Aresco, you're in the wrong line. You're here." I go, No. I hit the streets. He goes, what? I go, I hit the.
I saw you a couple days ago.
I hit the streets
Right.
on Wednesday. I'm back on by Friday. He was like, what? I was like, yeah, I got some timeshare here, I guess. So Matt, right there and then, I was like, I'm done. I'm not gonna contact her anymore. But they don't give me just 120 days because while I was out, I settled on the stolen car case,
Okay.
1 year probation. But between that time, I should already violated twice but she never violated me. She didn't even know. It was unsupervised because I kept paying. I paid it right off the rip. My mother paid it in like 2 payments. You know that you're supposed to pay $30 a month for the probation fee.
Yeah.
That was already paid. She didn't even know until the 3rd time I violated.
Your probation officer.
Yes, my probation officer. Never even met her in my life.
Right.
Didn't even know who the heck she was. Also, but at that time, I'm like, I'm done. But they're not holding me just on the 120 days. This time they held me for 150. I don't know why. I forget why 150. So while I'm in there, I meet this kid, Adam. He's in there for murder. We're both coming in the D block at the same time. First cell they give us, there's no air conditioner. Because there's air conditioner 24/7 in Billrock. Billrock, 365 a year. Air conditioner's on.
Right.
Because it kills the germs, they said.
Right.
We're freezing regat. But I like cold.
Yeah.
So I get him as a cellmate. First thing he says is, I can't be in this cell. There's no air conditioner. I'm in here for murder. I can't take this. First thing he says, my sister was just murdered 2 days ago. Do you think I can put up with this? I'm like, oh my God, what did they put me in here with? So we get a new cell. We start talking. He tells me he's in there for murder. I tell him what I'm in here for. He's like, dude, you gotta stay away from that girl, man. So there's a kid on the block. He's in there for the R-word.
Right.
He's in there for that. So they were all the whites are deciding who's going to take him out. Now, I want to get out of that cell bad. So I'm like, I'll do it. Because that's how bad I want to get out of that cell with this kid.
Right.
So, by the way, he's not only the head of the block, all of a sudden, he's also the head of the Bloods.
Okay.
So he's like, you really want to do this? I'm like, yeah. So it's 2 tiers. We're not all at the same time. One tier comes out, goes back in another tier. So, but the kid that they want off the block, he's on the 2nd tier. So I have to ask for a plunger to be able to get out of the cell to go get it if I can take this kid out. So I go ask for a plunger. I go back into the cell. I'm nervous. I'm like, give me a Pop-Tart really quick. He's like, what? I go, I got to eat something really quick before I go into the hole. This is Thanksgiving weekend. I'll never forget. And I eat the Pop-Tart, and I go, all right, CO, I got to bring the plunger back. So I bring the plunger back. The kid is facing this way, like I am. And I walk up to him. I punch him. I start beating the shit out of him. So they take me. I go to the hole. I'm there for.
What do? They blow the whistle. The cops come in and grab you
Yeah,
guys. Like, did he put up a fight?
No. I was pummeling him. I made him get back up, and he came at me. I suckered him again. Well, I really didn't suck him. I just, punched him. He put his fist up, but he didn't throw at me.
Right.
So they come in like crazy. Now, I'm pumped. I go, next time I tell you to leave, you leave. I don't know why I said that, because I didn't even tell him to leave. I was just, your adrenaline, So I go to the hole. They put me in the hole for 10 days. It was Thanksgiving. It was the Thanksgiving week. So they tell me, where do you want to go? I want to go back to that block only because I know everybody that's on that block. What cell did they put me in? His cell again.
It's not very smart. The COs are not the brightest bulbs.
But the kid with the Bloods.
Yeah.
They put me in his cell.
Oh, I thought you meant the guy you just beat up.
No. I'm sorry.
Okay.
They put me back in the
Same
cell.
cell you didn't want to be in with that kid. Yeah.
Yeah. He already had a cell until then, but when he found out the day I was getting out, he kicked the cell. He kicked that kid out to get me back in that cell.
He likes you.
He did.
He thinks you guys are buddy.
So
you can't stand him.
No, cannot stand him. So I get out. I go to that. I'm like, oh my God, are you serious? So I get back in this kid. He goes, dude, that was crazy, because he wanted to do it, and I'm the one who said, no, I'll take this kid out. And so we start talking. We become best friends, Matt. Like best friends. I'm in there the whole time with this kid. We talk. So I was like, so what are you gonna do in your case? Because his case there's 4 people: the driver, the 2 people that went in the house to rob. They were robbing somebody for bud,
Okay.
and then there's 2. No, I'm
This is
sorry.
the guy that killed his sister.
No, he didn't kill his sister. I'm sorry. Somebody killed his sister and left her in the street.
Okay, but
And
he's
then-
being charged with it.
No. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have. He said that part about the sister was because he was so stressed out he couldn't be in a cell without air conditioner. Somebody actually killed and R-word his sister in East Boston,
Okay.
and he's in there for killing somebody else.
Okay.
I'm sorry. So the 2 days before he got moved to that block, somebody R-word his sister and killed her and left her in the street.
All right.
And that's why he was just so stressed out. That's why he said, I can't be in a cell without air conditioner. My sister was just killed.
Right.
I don't know why. That's the first thing he said. But so he was in there for him and 4 other people were going to rob a drug dealer for marijuana.
Okay.
I'm sorry, bud. About 10 pounds of it. 2 people are in the car. 2 people go in. They put up a fight, the people that they're robbing. By accident, he shoots and kills one of the people. One of the dealers.
Yeah.
He gets charged with. They all get charged. All 4 of them get charged with it.
Right. Yeah. So you're
So-
all there.
Yeah. So I'm in the cell with him. He starts telling me his story. I know his cousin that's getting charged also with the crime because I was in the last time I was in jail with him, with his cousin. So I kind of know about the case.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes. So I go, what are you gonna do about this? You know, he was. You know, I'm trying to see what he's gonna do because there was rumors that he ratted eventually and then took it back. That he was gonna rat. Then he took some of the stuff he said back. But he said, no, we're just, we're all going to court. He's the last one to go to court. 2 other people already got charged. The driver got 10 years. The other person got life. And the cousin ends up getting life. So he starts telling me about what he's going to do. He's just going to take it, Then he goes,
And he's the one that shot him.
yes, he's the
So
He's the
everybody else is getting life, and they weren't actually the actual shooter. He's got major problems.
Yes. So I go, yeah, but you're never going to see your kids again. He's got 3 kids, He goes, that's what we just do, He goes, but there is a way I can get out. He goes, if somebody kills the witness. So I go, who's the witness? He goes, the witness is my cousin, his female cousin that told him about the drug dealer with all the bud. That's
Right.
the witness. He's saying.
So he's going to trial. Everybody else has pled guilty. Are
Everybody
they
else.
all cooperating against him?
Nobody.
Nobody is.
Nobody.
Except for the cousin.
The
The
cousin.
female cousin that said, yeah.
Yes, because they originally was going to charge her too with it,
Right.
but she gets immunity because she tells everything that happened.
And she's going to cooperate against him.
Yes, she's already done it so far with the other 3 people. So he goes, there is a way I can get out, and then he goes, I'd pay somebody to do it, So he goes, so I'm like, wow, because I'll get somebody $2,000 a week to do it. Because his family, I don't know why he was even robbing a dealer, because his family's got money.
Yeah.
They own a big roofing company out of Lynn, So I didn't even know why he even did that,
And some people they get in that lifestyle and they think it's cool. You can give them all the chances in the world, but they're just stuck in that lifestyle.
I mean, like, he's part of a gang and everything.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy? All 4 of those people were all part of 4 different gangs that robbed the deal. That's the weirdest part. One's a Crip, one's a G, one's this, one's a Blood.
Just doing their own thing.
So he says, we can, he goes, would you do it? I was like, I'm in jail. How can I do it?
Right.
He goes, what happens if we can get you out of it? Because, Matt, at the time, my lawyer's like, listen, we can get you 2 to 3 years, because, she doesn't want to press charges, really.
Right.
So, but I don't, Matt, at first I was okay with doing the time, but then I was like, I don't really want to do this time. What the hell, man? I don't.
How much more time do you have? How much have you been locked up? Has it been 6 months yet? Or a year? Or 3 months?
So I did did 4 months, you know, because I kept getting out.
Yeah, but you don't count that towards those were violations based on the violating the restraining order. Do those count towards your?
Yeah, they were. Yes,
okay,
they count that.
Okay.
So they were.
So you're going to get 2 or 3 years. You've already done a year and change, right?
Yeah.
Roughly, or a year or so. Yeah.
But you know, the first number they came back at me was like 8 to 15.
Yeah, well, that's what they do to scare you.
Oh, I was terrified,
Huh.
you know. So he goes, "What happens if we can get you out of jail?" Now he doesn't know that when I get out, I'm on an ankle bracelet.
Right.
So I'm just going with it. I'm like, if I can get out, why not?
Yeah.
He goes, "What happens if I give you some information? You go to the cops, you tell them you're cooperating, and you can get out." So I don't know because what happens if I come back? He goes, "That's the thing, you can never come back here." But I already put it back in my head that I was never going to talk to that girl again, and you know, and at this time I'm clean. You know, I put it in my head then that I wasn't going to touch a drug again.
Right.
You know, so I think about it. He goes, why don't we think about it? And I'm thinking about it. I'm like, let's do it. You know.
What's the information he's got?
So the information he got was the other glove, because they only found one glove, but there's another glove. But it was a glove that his family planted. Like, it doesn't have his DNA on it.
Right.
You know, he ends up telling me where the gun is. But that information I'm not supposed to tell the cops. You know what I mean? Because
is it because he wants to use that gun?
Yes.
Okay. I'll tell you where the gun is so you can use it.
Yes. So.
And then it definitely doesn't look like him. Somebody out there with the same gun that killed this guy is still killing people. The real killer must be out there.
So, Matt, we sat there for every night and we would talk about the plan because he wanted me. His family, before the cousin testified, the family gave her money to open up a restaurant just for her not to testify.
Mm.
But she ended up backing on it anyways. So he knows where she's going to be, this and that, you know. So every night we would talk. He would tell me, he always wanted to know a plan. He always wanted to know how I was going to do it, when I was going to do it, this and that, you know. Because he ended up finding out, you know, you can't obviously bring a phone with you, because that's how he ended up getting caught. They said they found the phone.
Yeah, they triangulated it, and he was at that specific location.
Yeah, which his phone, though, really wasn't in that area, though. Because he kept telling me, he goes, "Mike, I left the phone blocks away." But they still, I don't know.
They're still saying it?
Yeah. So every night we would talk about the way we would do it. And
what are you supposed to do? Go to the restaurant.
Go to the restaurant. When it's about to close, go in with a mask, and everything. Shoot her and her husband because he knows information too.
Right.
And then walk out.
Right.
You know, he told me put tape on the gun. I go, what's the tape for? He goes, "I don't know. I saw it in The Godfather."
Oh God.
So,
it's supposed to not leave prints, right? Like if you wrap it and then it won't leave prints. But at this day and age, what it will do,
like that movie
is
was 50 years ago.
It'll leave your DNA. So now you're definitely leaving DNA on the tape.
So I ended up getting a new lawyer because the lawyer that I had, they eventually find out that through channels that at one time in the girl that I was dating's divorce to her ex-husband, somebody represented her.
Conflict of interest.
Yes. So I ended up getting a new lawyer.
Right.
So I go in there and I finally tell him, "Listen, I got information on a murder." He goes, "Well, you do know if you give the DA everything, doesn't mean that you're going to get a good deal." You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, they'll consider it.
They'll consider it. Yeah. You know? So I don't get out yet. I end up, finally, the probation officer violates me after 6 months of me being in jail. She finally finds out that I'm in jail. She violates me. So I go to Peabody, Mass court. She tries to violate me for 18 months. Judge goes, "He's been in for 6 months. You finally realized he was in jail?"
Right.
He was like, "I'm just going to give him another 6 months."
Right.
So I ended up getting sentenced to another jail. But before I went to that jail, me and this kid to write letters to each other. We had code words. Gun was bedroom set. Killing was snow. We had a system.
Yeah.
So we're writing each other all those code stuff, and I would send it to his mother, and his mother would send it to him because you can't send jail to jail.
Yeah.
So he goes, what, because he doesn't know he doesn't know why I'm locked up at a different jail. Because I didn't know I was going to get time. I just thought they would give time served since I already got 6 months in. She wanted a year, I was only on year on probation. I didn't know I was going to get sentenced to another jail. So I'm sentenced there. So I get out. So I end up having a conference I end up having a problem with a kid in a gang, a white gang in there. They're called C-Dubs. I end up saying something because they're extorting a younger kid, a little scrawny kid. So I finally say something to them. I'm like, why this kid, he doesn't have, he's a little kid, leave him alone. He was only 18 years old, the kid. He was scrawny. He was 5 feet.
Right.
So they end up jumping me, and I go to the hole. So I go to the hole, and now I'm in there I'm supposed to get 6 months in there. So I go to the hole. They only give you 5 days in the hole there. Then you go, and I say, I want to go back to the same block that I was in. They go, you can't go there. They go, they want to kill you. I was like, no, I want to go back there. Because Matt, while I was in the hole, you only go on the weekends to take a shower.
Mm-hmm.
They jumped me in there in the hole too.
Because they're also in the hole.
Yeah. So I go to the nurses. Then my face is like this. Nurse goes, wasn't you just here 3 days ago for getting beat up? I was like, yeah. My face was huge. So I refused to go because they want to put me to PC. I was like, I'm not going to PC. They were like, give me a minute. They come back a few hours later. They go, you're released tomorrow. Matt, I'm not even supposed to be released. I'm
released to the street?
To the street.
Okay.
I call my mother. She comes pick. I go back to court. They put the ankle bracelet on me.
All right.
So while I'm out, his parents are paying me $1,000 a week because that was the deal was $2,000, but $1,000 until. So I'm getting $1,000
until it's done.
Yes. So I let it slip because I didn't tell him I was going to be on an ankle bracelet. Matt, I'm just doing this to be on the street.
Right.
I wasn't going to do, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I just wanted to get out, So I let it slip in a letter that I was on an ankle bracelet. So he goes, how are you going to do if you're on an ankle bracelet now? I totally forgot that So he goes, I got it to somebody else that can do it. But then you got to take him out after he does it.
So it was before he was going to take you out after you did
course.
it. Now you're going to take him out after it's.
Matt.
It's like remember do you ever see the robbery in the Batman with the Joker? They're all dressed up.
Yeah.
As jokers, and then he shoots the one guy, and then he finishes his thing. He gets shot, and then the next guy shoots him.
Man, back in my head the whole time, I go, if I ever did this kid would. This kid was crazy. First thing he wanted to do anytime somebody did something he didn't like, he wanted to kill him. It's like, you know what I do in the street, dude? I was like, I forgot to mention, this kid had already beat a murder case before. I forgot to mention that.
And his family's backing him up. Like they have to.
They got money. Like they got to.
Yeah, but you gotta be a little concerned. Like my son's gonna get me involved in a fucking murder conspiracy here. He's killing people. I can't keep paying people. Oh, I got this guy that's getting out. You gotta send him $2,000 a week until he's doing something for me. I don't think so.
Before I got sentenced, to the other jail that for the stolen car case, he was sending money to my house already. I didn't know. I come home, my mother gives me an envelope. There's like $3,000 on it. I go, what is this? She goes, I don't know. Some woman keeps coming to the house bringing it. So I'm like, all right, so it must be. So he gets somebody else. So I'm supposed to meet this person to give them a gun. So I finally tell my lawyer, hey, listen. The whole time I'm giving them information that he gave me. You know what I mean? Where the glove is. He told me, what else did he told me some times and stuff where they met and stuff. Little things I was giving them,
Right. So the authorities are already aware this is going on.
Yes, I told my lawyer, and my lawyer told them, but they don't know that they don't know that I have a deal with him, obviously, to do this.
Oh, okay.
I don't tell them until
I would have told them. I'd be afraid he's setting me up. He's setting me up right now, saying I'm gonna do this, and he's paying me. And
I never really thought of that. But,
yeah,
But so he ends up getting somebody else. So eventually I have to tell the feds are involved. I had the feds meet me. They would meet me every day to tell them if I get anything new. Did I get a letter from him? And I would have to give. They already had the copy of every letter he sent out, anyways.
right.
Because they would.
Yeah, they're copying everything that he goes with the mail and goes.
Because one time I said, no, I didn't get a letter from him. They go, where's this letter? And it was a copy of the letter.
Right.
So that's how I knew that they already was getting every letter. So I was like, I actually didn't get that one yet. It just didn't come to me yet.
Right.
So eventually I tell them, listen, I'm supposed to meet somebody to give them a gun. They're like, what? I was like, yeah, he called me last night and he told me, because he really did call me the night before I was supposed to meet them.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that you're going to meet, I forget the kid's name. I think it was Fred. I think his kid's name was, you're going to meet Fred and give him this gun. Give him the gun that he had hidden.
Did he say gun or say the bedroom set? What did he say?
Bedroom set. Bedroom set, yeah. You remember that, huh?
Okay.
So the bedroom set. So I'm like, okay, no problem. So I get off the phone. The next morning I meet them. I finally tell them, hey, listen, he wants me to meet this other kid to give him a gun. They're like, no problem, perfect. You're going to be in a car. We're going to give you a car. It's going to be mic'd up. They gave me a hat that was mic'd up. They gave me an SUV BMW. It was mic'd up.
Oh, nice.
I told the kid that, hey, I'll meet you at Stop and Shop in Malden. We're going to meet somebody to give us a gun. So I meet the guy. It was somebody undercover with a gun. So
Did you ever retrieve the real gun?
No, but I told them that's how they knew I was serious because at first.
Because now they have the gun that was involved in the actual shooting.
Yeah, because I'm going to be honest with you. At first, I don't know if they really believed everything I was giving them.
Right.
But once I gave them that gun, because they were looking for it, they could not find. It was buried at the beach in Lynn. Like I knew he knew from the wall how many feet, and they found it.
Right.
They ended up finding that gun. But I'm not telling this other kid, Fred, obviously about that gun. They're giving me an undercover cop with a gun.
Yeah.
So I pick the kid up at the train station. We go to Stop and Shop. It's a supermarket. We go there. I tell him, hey, we're gonna meet somebody. He's gonna give us a gun. We get the guy pulls up. He looks scrawny, messed up beard, whatever. He gets in the back seat, pulls out a case with a gun, gives it to the kid. He asks the kid, hey, have you ever had a gun? Held a gun before? The kid says no. I'm nervous. This kid pointing a gun to me too.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, hey, I got to get you bullets. Hold on. He goes in his car. All of a sudden, we get surrounded by the cops. They told me before.
Bullets was the code word. Bullets.
Yes, that was.
Right.
So they told me before, hey, when we surround the car and we're going to throw you to the ground, don't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want you to say nothing. So they throw me to the ground. They put us in a holding tank together. He goes, did you know that was going to happen? I go, I have no idea. I don't know what's going on. I tell him, I go, oh, that's the guy that Adam told me to meet. I don't know.
Right.
And this kid, Fred, I was in jail with him too, but he kept denying that I was in jail with him. He goes, no, I wasn't in jail with you. I go, yes, you were definitely in jail with me. I don't know why he kept denying that he wasn't. I don't know. I still think about that to the day. I was like, why would he keep lying to me about that? But anyways, so Adam doesn't know any of this is going on, obviously.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He doesn't even know that I gave him the gun. He doesn't even know that he doesn't even know that I'm really going to testify against him.
Yeah.
But once that happens, they put him in a holding tank all by himself in the hole. And that's where he was up until his trial. But as he's in the hole, he's trying to get people to kill me now.
Right.
Because now I'm the witness,
So so at some point he finds that out.
Yeah.
He finds out that.
As soon as they took us down to the ground and arrested us, they put him right in the hole.
Okay.
And he's probably thinking, oh, I'm in the hole because what's her name got shot.
He maybe, yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. He probably thinks he's in the hole for.
Well, his lawyer might have come to him. He may have gotten a phone call. You're still going to get a phone call at least probably once a week in the shoe. They're going to monitor it, but somebody, so whoever you call can certainly say, oh my gosh, you're not going to believe this. This just happened. Remember that guy? Who knows?
Yeah. So we all get taken down. Now, this whole time I'm on the ankle bracelet. I'm supposed to be home by this time. This thing is vibrating like crazy. I'm getting nervous. I'm gonna go to jail for you know what I mean?
Right.
Because the DA was actually there during the takedown. The main DA.
Right.
His name was Silva. I never forget. He's the worst DA to go against. He was there. He goes, "You're on an ankle bracelet?" I go, "Yeah, I'm on an ankle bracelet." He goes, "Did you tell anybody?" I go, "They know."
Right.
They're like, "Then why is it vibrating?" So he got me so nervous. I thought I was gonna get arrested that night. So they keep calling my house, like, "Why is he not home? Why is he not home?" Yeah. My mother goes, "Oh, he's in an undercover sting right now." I'm like, "Ma, what are you talking?" Because
you didn't tell Silver, like, listen, bro, call my fucking PO. Somebody call her and tell her.
Well, he was
shut
like,
this shit off.
Well, I was like, well, shouldn't you do something about it? He goes, well, I'm not the DA in your case. I can't do nothing about it.
You better fucking call him.
I go, you're the DA I'm doing this for right now.
Yeah.
But so we do that, and so he goes to the hole, and then he's trying to get people to kill me now.
Right.
So one time, I'm in the mall. After work, I go to the mall. I get out of work or I go to the mall. There's 2 kids following me.
You get out of work?
I get out of work.
Where are you working?
I'm working for my family again.
Okay.
I go back to work for my family. So I get out of work early. I go to the mall really quick, and there's 2 kids that I know that are Bloods. They're following me. So I'm thinking, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So I go, I run out onto the bus. So I tell the main guy in the feds that I'm talking to about this, and he doesn't think it has nothing to do. But I go, dude, they followed me. They followed me to 3 different stores. You know what I mean? And then one time I found a dead mouse on my steps. Like, I just thought.
You just know. You just feel like it's.
Yeah, you know.
I feel like a mouse. I feel like they need a better. Yeah, a dead rat, not a mouse, a rat. See, that's different.
No, the whole time I was thinking like they put this there. They put this there. Then I had somebody come to my house once, ring the doorbell because we had a camera. But they were like, no, this has nothing. Because they were like, we didn't get any information about this. I go, how do you, cause he can get other ways out.
Yeah.
I go, you didn't even know what the code words were in the letter.
Yeah.
So how do you know he doesn't have other letters going out with code words, you know?
Yeah. Well, they're waiting until you get shot. Then they're going to be like, I think this has something to do with that rat that was left. I think this might have something to do with these 2 gang members that were following him. You're good. You're good.
So this whole time, I tell my family I'm cooperating, but I don't tell them I told them that it was against insurance fraud.
Right.
I told them, yeah, people buy houses, and then the insurance company's supposed to come over and look. I just made up some whack-ass story.
Right.
I didn't want them to know what I was getting involved with. You know, because, Matt, nobody in my family has ever ratted. Like, they go to jail, do their time. You know what I mean? People, Matt, when you say the last name Aresco, it means something over there. Like, I went to a friend's wake. His son passed away. He was like 25, 26. I walk in the door. He's telling me, you know who this is? He's an Aresco. So the name means something. So, like, I always felt like, I can't do that, you know?
Right.
But I didn't want to go back to jail.
No,
I didn't want to go to jail.
You're cooperating against insurance fraud.
Yes, that's what I tell them. And I don't want them to know either because I ended up getting out of jail. I meet this girl. She's my ex-wife now, but I get her pregnant. So I didn't want them to get worried that it was something serious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they have no idea. They still don't have any idea. So now they'll know now. But so I end up going to court, and they didn't want to give me. I kept telling them, why can't you just give me time served now? I'm going with the DA, trying to see what deal they're going to give me now, since I gave them a shooter, the weapon. They go, would you do time in a Concord, it's a jail without a fence.
Like a camp?
Yes. I go, no, I don't want to do any more time. I go, I don't want to do any more time. So they go, well, if you don't take that deal, you would have to take 10 years probation, time served, 10 years probation. If I ever do get in trouble, they can charge me with the original,
Yeah.
charge me with them. They could charge me up to the max of my original charge.
Right.
They didn't want to drop the charge to a lower, it was still attempted murder, B&E. And then I had 46 counts of violating a restraining order by every text message.
Okay.
And that's because the DA said we stopped counting.
Right.
But like my whole time, but it all can run concurrent anyways, you know what I mean? I really didn't, but I'm like, I don't want to do no more time. They go, we're going to 10 years probation. I was like, well, why can't you do anything better? You were only, you came at me once with 2 to 3 years in jail. Why can't it be anything better than, because we don't like what you did. I was like, what did I do?
I just gave you a fucking murderer. A guy who's, his case is done now. You got the gun, you got everything,
Yes.
He's done. And I just gave you another murder on top of that. Now I've also got a conspiracy to commit murder.
Yes.
These are additional charges of 2 murders at this point.
Yeah. So they go, we don't like what you did. I go, what did I do? I thought maybe they found out that I was, did a plan with this kid that I was, because they don't know that he gave me the information to get out of jail to do this crime.
Oh, okay.
They think I'm just giving them this information just to give it.
Right.
They don't know that I had to deal with this kid, to get paid. Because they didn't know until the day I testified that I was getting paid from the parents.
Right.
They were like, what? And then they were like, yeah, don't even mention that. Don't mention any money then. I was like, but isn't that lying if they ask me? It's like, no, don't mention any money. Yeah. Don't mention any money. So I was like, well, what did I do? They were like, you had a Sports Illustrated sent to your victim. I was like, what?
You had a what?
Sports Illustrated magazine.
Uh-huh.
They're saying that I had that sent to the victim. I was like, what is the name on it? They go, well, it's her name. I was like, we had that magazine sent to our house when I was living with her.
Right.
She kept saying that I had that personally sent to her.
Okay.
And they were like, you're trying to violate your restraint. I go, I have nothing to do with that girl. I moved on. I had a kid. Like, Matt, I was really done.
Yeah.
And they brought that up. I go, I had nothing to do with, that's. So I was like, you're not going to give me a better deal because of that? I was like,
Right, even if it were true.
Even if it was true. But, Matt, when they told me that, I looked at my lawyer. My lawyer's looking at me. He's like, I was like, I had nothing. So I was like, all right, whatever. So I signed a 10-year probation deal. But obviously I can't get the deal until I testify.
Right.
So the day I'm testifying, they pick me up in a van. I don't know if they thought I was going to get killed or something. They pick me up in a van. I go there. The elevator doors open. Who's the person on the elevator? His family. And the cop was like, yeah, we'll get the next one. And all you hear her say, yeah, that's the rat.
Jeez.
The sister said it to the mother. And Matt, when I testified, my heart was shaking. I don't know, I was so nervous. Even though I know he couldn't do anything,
yeah.
But he was dirty looking at me this whole time. He looks like a scary dude. He is a scary dude.
Right. He's obviously pretty serious. He's whacking people left and right? Yeah.
Yeah. Matt, one time we were loud. A CO came over to our cell. I was like, hey, you guys quiet it down. He goes, you know what I'm in here for?
He's wearing it as a badge of honor?
Yeah. And so I testify. And I had to go back because they were saying that he was trying to bring up that it was a deal. And I was like, nah, there was no deal. There was no deal. And Matt, this whole time, I had to lie to them, to the cops, say that I was a blood. Because
Right.
that's what he told me, I was a blood.
Okay.
He was like, you got to tell people you're a blood. Because if I didn't say I was a blood and I was his right-hand man, I would have had to take people out in jail and shit, fight. And he didn't want me to do that because for those 6 months we were in jail, we talked the game plan, what you're going to do. And Matt, the main
he
thing...
can't have you get in trouble and get moved to another unit or go to the SHU
Yes,
or
exactly.
I need this guy to be in here with me.
And Matt, and then come to find out, she's not even the main witness. The main witness is the other person that was in the house when he shot the person.
Right.
So I was like, why did he want me to take her out for? I always felt like it was something more to that.
Right.
And from jail, he had his girl's car blown up because she was going to testify. And a scary thing happened in Wakefield, where I live now. There was another dead mouse on my steps. And I swear, I feel like there's still...
Yeah. It's
that he still got something against me, Matt.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I know he... Like, obviously, I know, but...
All right. Well, what did he get sentenced to?
Life.
Life.
They all got life, except the only person that didn't was the driver. He got 15 years. But they all got life, and I still deny it to the day that I rat, because I see people all the time. They're like, hey, did you? I was like, no. I was like, I mean, I got called there, because I was just celly for so long. Because, Matt, he never had a celly other than me. Oh, and then the person that he kicked out before me.
Right.
And that was another friend of ours. But he never had a celly, the person, because he didn't trust anybody. He trusted nobody.
Yeah.
And I don't know why he trusted me so much to tell me all this, Because he told me, he told me where the real gun was. Like, wouldn't you just have me get a different gun? Why would, But I think it was maybe what you said. Like, maybe he felt that if I used that gun, he would...
I mean, it looks pretty right. Like if they'd have to kind of admit that in court, like we couldn't find the gun, and that gun has since been used in another crime to kill another, they could say witness, or they just say another person that was involved. Like, so obviously you grabbed the wrong guy. There's another guy out there, and that could be his defense. And that to me, if I was sitting on the jury and I was like, you didn't find the gun, it's been used since he's been incarcerated, I would be like, that's reasonable doubt. Like, I don't know about giving this guy a life sentence, finding him guilty when the gun's still, somebody's out there using this gun. Like, it's possible it's not him.
Yeah.
You guys should have tied your case up better.
And since I ratted, because whenever somebody tries to kill you, they have to tell you. He's already asked 3 other people to try to.
To have you, you mean the government has to come to you and tell you, hey, listen.
Yeah.
You have to. So what did they do? Did you get a knock on the door and an agent's there, or did they just call you?
They call me.
Okay.
And I haven't gotten a call in a while, but
so he's currently he's in federal prison, state. So he's currently in state prison, asking his new cellies or someone he knows, when you get out, I want you to kill this guy.
Well, yeah, he's got money, so I mean, but when does a parent finally say, why am I paying all these people? This and this,
Right.
I would think the parents would be like, hey, listen, enough is enough. We don't want to be involved in this.
Yeah.
But no, they go with it. Like.
They're fucking hardcore. Dude, this fucking family's, they're down, bro.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
especially with the sister, fucking, there's the rat.
Oh,
and in the Boston accent, it just makes it so much more grungy. You know what I'm saying? Just.
But, I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't really think about it anymore. I mean, I do got kids now, I'm got a wife and kids now, but I really don't think about it anymore, other than when I get that call. But it's been a few years now since I've gotten.
The only thing I think about Boston is maybe 2 or 3 things. I'd watched a documentary about these guys who were robbing. They were robbing the cash trucks that move cash. What are they called? The armored truck?
The town.
Yeah. No. So what I think the town is based on, because it was so similar, there was a group of guys that were robbing armored trucks.
Yes.
And I think it was banks and armored trucks.
Salty gang.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So, and everybody they interviewed were the Boston accent, And then those guys, at one point, either there was a scuffle or something, and one of the guys took his mask off, or one of the guards saw it. Like, they'd never killed anybody.
No.
And so they drove this vehicle, this armored truck, out to the woods, and the main guy, executed the guards. because they saw his face. Something along those lines. I
Yeah.
forget exactly what it was. So I'd seen that, and then I saw that, and then like 10, 15 years ago or later, I saw the movie The Town.
Yeah.
And they're all the Boston guys with the accents and the and then of course, I've seen Departed, and then there's
Departed. That's a great.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Black Mass.
I didn't
Also-
like that one that much.
No, it wasn't as good as The Departed, but it was based on the Whitey Bulger story, so they only have so much wiggle room. And then the other one is Bean Shooter. Do you know who Bean Shooter is?
No.
So Bean Shooter is a guy from, I want to say it was from Massachusetts. I want to say he's in, I don't know, but exactly. I think he's in Boston. I don't know. I'd have to find out. I think he's in a town close to, anyway. Yeah, I'll send you his thing because you would fucking die, bro. He's got an Instagram. He's got a podcast. He's hilarious.
So one of the guys from The Town, for a week, I was in, what's it called, the nurse's station? What's it called when you're in the
Infirmary?
I was in there for a week. I forget what was wrong with me. I was sick. He's in there. He's from he was from the movie The Town. He was
Right.
in there because he was waiting to get
Pacemaker?
a pacemaker, and he was in there, and he would tell story. Man, this guy had story for days, and I didn't believe him at first. But one of the CEOs was like, "No, that's
It's serious. Yeah,
his name was Frank. I'll never forget him." And he was like, "One day my son will do the same thing. I'll be so proud of him." I was like, "What?" He told me that
my
he went to
God.
like Ireland and they taught him how to do smoke bombs and stuff. Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. In the Whitey Bulger actually had been, they'd actually donated a ton of money to like the IRA, and they had weapons on a boat that was headed for like Ireland. This is while there was still a war going on between
Really?
the IRA and the Brits, and so they actually had loaded this ship up with weapons, and they were going to sail it. I think they were sailing it. Might have been sailing it all the way there. I don't really know, but it got seized. Like there was a snitch involved, and it got seized. And Bulger was supposedly one of the guys who donated tons of weapons. These are like stolen weapons and money and everything. So I mean, he was involved in sending money to the IRA and that whole situation, which is funny because I would have thought when he was on the run and everything, I always thought to myself, when he got caught in like San Diego or something.
Yeah.
I always thought he's probably in Ireland. Like he had contacts with.
That's what I thought. I mean,
Yeah.
I think they thought he was there at one point.
That's what you'd think, right?
He said, or maybe he didn't. Maybe they said that he was actually there when he was in Canada when the Bruins won the Stanley Cup. Like he was there.
All right, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but I was also remember the movie The Fighter, the Boston movie, the boxer Mickey was his name, I think.
Yeah, was he on drugs? Was he the one that
That
was
was
on
the brother that was on drugs.
Yeah, and he's calling, like telling him like, do this, go this. He's
Christian
trying to,
Bale. And,
Yes.
so I was in jail with the brother.
Okay.
He was in there strangling somebody with a extension cord. But he's known for like in the streets, like if he knows you have drugs, knocking you out and taking you. Oh man.
I mean, there's some characters. That guy Bean Shooter is a character. I'm gonna send you his
Send it to me.
Instagram. You're gonna be like, this fucking guy. He just, and he does these things over and he'll record them. Some guy's got his a mask on walking down the street. He'll roll the window down. He'll be like, hey, you got to protect yourself from all that cold,
the roofing
fresh.
guy.
Yes, the roofing
Yes,
guy.
I know.
Bean Shooter,
Yes. I love that guy. He was like, yeah, first we're cleaning roofs. Then the guy finally tells you, he goes, listen, when this ice thaws out, but they're gonna need new roofs. We're putting holes in there. That you should get him on here.
I had him on
You
here.
had him on
Yes,
here?
I was one of the first podcasts that he did. He
I
had
didn't
a
know
podcast.
that.
I just thought he was so funny, and there was a guy named Hicks. I forget the Hicks guy who'd basically written a book saying he was one of the kind of like the Winter Hill Gang, and he was connected with Whitey Bulger, and he knew all the guys, and he was involved, and he'd gone to prison for like 10 years or something ridiculous. He's got this amazing story. It's all bullshit. He's a low-level piece of garbage that's just kind of going in and out of prison for drug offenses, and it's all bullshit. And the person that figured it out that it's bullshit, because he was Bean Shooter, had been listening to the guy on podcasts, and he ends up calling some of his guys that were part of, like, were associated with Whitey. They call him up, and he Bean Shooter's like, you ever heard of this fucking guy? And he tells them who he is. They look into it. They come back. They go, man, this guy's full of shit.
Is he the one that keeps like, Whitey's a rat? He's a rat.
No, that's another guy. That's a guy named Shay. No, Red Shay. It's something.
Yeah, Red.
Yeah, it's Red Shay. I think his last name's Shay. Yeah. But it's something Red Shay. He also, no, he's got a whole thing on me. He does.
I saw him do one on you.
Hates my guts. Actually, this is funny. I have a buddy named Julian Dory who has a podcast that I've been on a bunch of times, and it's a big podcast, right? Like I think he's got over 1 million subs, and he's in he's in Jersey. He's in Jersey. He's in like Soho. So one day, first Julian talked to Red. He had interviewed Red. And I think he had suggested to Red that he come on my podcast, something along those lines. And Red goes nuts. Fuck that motherfucking rat, fucking scumbag piece of shit. Goes on and on and on. Then Julian decides he wants to have Red. He's like, you know what would be huge? We do a celebrity, not that I think I'm a celebrity, this is what he said. We do a celebrity boxing match between you and Red. And I went, are you out of your fucking mind? Like, the guy's like a fucking fighter. He's been fighting his whole fucking life. I mean, he's been boxing since he's like 12 years old or something. Like, he's like, no, Julian goes, no, Matt, I said, you're trying to get me fucking killed. Like, I'm going to get head trauma. Like, I can't get fucking bashed around by this guy. He says, no, Matt, I'll train you. I'm going to personally train you. Like, Julian, I've been to your fucking family's house. Your dad's he's like a high-powered, top-shelf corporate attorney. Like, your mom's a soccer mom. Like you went to a prep school. You worked on Wall Street. If I'm going to have anybody train me, it's going to be a guy that was raised in the projects. It's going to be I'm going to have a street guy that I can barely understand what he says, not a fucking a preppy. You know, like you speak proper English. I can't. You're soft. You're not as soft as me, but you're soft. And I'm telling him this, and then as he's trying to convince me, part of his negotiations or trying to convince me is, Matt, listen, you can make a ton of money. You could sell T-shirts.
That's what I wanted to get my head bashed in to sell T-shirts.
So I can make I'm going to make $5,000 on T-shirt sales? Like, no offense, and I'm like, you do understand that in this scenario that you've created in your head here, Julian, like, I'm not the guy they're rooting for. Like,
no, definitely no. They're not rooting.
Typically, you'd say, oh, no, the underdog it's Red. No. No one's rooting for me. Nobody. Maybe some of my fans are rooting for me, but they're not buying T-shirts rooting for me. Like, and what am I going to make on T-shirts? I'm like, yeah, Julian, no. And Julian pushed hard. Like, he called me like 2 or 3 times about this.
Did you ever really consider it?
Never. My wife's like, at that time, I think I was 55. I was like a year ago. I think I'm 56 now. I'm 56 now? Yeah, almost 57. So I was like
57.
Thank you, but not after Red gets old of me. Like, I don't care if Red's fucking 5'2" and 130 pounds. He's gonna butcher me. He's a professional fucking fighter. So I'm telling. When I told Jess, I said, listen to what Julian, and she's like, my wife is super supportive of me. She says, you're an old man. She's like, you can't do it. I'm like, I'm not considering it. Like, for a second, she thought I was considering it. And she's like, what are you doing? She's like, he's trying to get you killed. I go, exactly. Like, I thought this guy was a friend of mine. I always considered Julian a friend. But for Julian's entertainment, he's willing to have me get a concussion and possibly end up in the hospital, if not dead, to sell some tickets. And he's going to sell more T-shirts than I'm going to sell. Like, and I was like, no, Julian, that's not.
Red took one of your videos about you telling him about the insurance, about the housing insurance, what you did. And he goes, See that? That's a fucking. Not only did he fucking rat, he robbed people too. He robbed millions.
No, it's the home. I think it's also he did one on the homeless thing.
That's the one. The
Right.
whole. You see that? He's ruining people's lives.
Right. Because
their lives are.
I was gonna say because Red, who's like an enforcer for like the whitey, I'm sure he was the sweet guy on the street.
Yeah, he cared about everybody.
Yeah, he cares about people. And you know what? Here's the funniest thing about that video, that short that he did, which is funny because that short got millions of views. The shorts guys that do the shorts for us.
Yeah.
Here's what they do. Now, I'm not saying. Now, I've definitely surveyed homeless guys,
Yes.
built their credit up, and would then buy a house in their name and borrow mortgages in their name. I put millions. He was right. Like the spirit of what he was saying is correct.
Yes.
I would get a homeless guy and I'd put him in debt for $1 million, $2 million, without a doubt. They're also homeless and have no idea this has happened. It's never affected them.
I don't think they'll ever know.
Huh?
I don't think they'll ever
To this day, I guarantee. Imagine this: after 7 years, all those debts fall off. They don't owe any money. Like they could probably go pull their credit right now, and it's perfectly clean. When I got out of prison, and I had probably $5, $6, $7 million in fucking bad mortgage, and everything, right? That when I got out of prison, and I went and had my credit pulled, not one thing on my credit, perfectly clean. I actually went and got 3 secured credit cards. At 7 months later, when I walked out of the halfway house and I had my credit pulled, I had a 754 credit score. 754 within 6 months period of time. So, and I had tons of charge-offs. So they fall off after 7 years.
Did they ever think you hid money or something?
Oh, they constantly. Yeah, that was a constant.
Really?
Yeah. Boy, don't I wish that was true. I always said it was so funny. How funny would it be? Like when I got off probation, I used to tell my wife, how funny would it be if I'd be like, well, I'm off probation. Let's go. And she'd be like, well, what? Come on. We're going to the Cayman Islands. For what? Get on a plane, go to the Cayman Islands, walk into a bank, some guy sits down and says, well, we've got your $30 million, Mr. Cox. She'd be like, what's going on? Like, I would be so awesome. It didn't happen.
Allegedly.
I think we went to I think we got tacos or something that night. But so those shorts, real quick, the shorts guys would have me, let's say you and I are talking, and I say, oh wow, that sounds like the movie Heat. Did you ever see Heat? And you're like, no. And I'm like, oh bro, so what happened is these guys, and then I start explaining Heat. Boom, 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 boom. At the very end, bam, and the guy ends up getting killed. The guy ends up getting killed at the end or whatever. And the shorts guy, they'll take that and they'll cut out the whole conversation between you and I, and it'll say, yeah, there's this guy. He's like, so they're going. This group of guys are going into banks, right? So, and I explain the whole thing, and then they put out the video. So there will be 90% of the comments will be like, this guy's a liar. He never did that. He doesn't know anybody. That's the fucking theme to Heat. That's the movie Heat. This guy's a piece of garbage. Now the fans will be in the comments going, no, bro, I saw the video. He was explaining the movie. He knows that's Heat. I don't know. They cut it out. They're like arguing.
Yes.
Which is why that video, and because these shorts guys that do our shorts are super, super sharp guys, right? These are a couple of guys from I think one's in the UK. I think one's somewhere else. I don't know, but very sharp guys.
So you guys don't do the shorts yourselves?
No. We have a group of guys that we have an agreement with these guys. Very smart guys. They know, like they have it. They're dialed into this whole thing, but they know that, and they know that arguing pushes it. So that ends up getting 4 million. So here's what happened. I'm talking to somebody during an interview, and we're talking about fraud. And he was like, yeah, would you ever commit fraud again? I was like, well, I mean, obviously, no. I think I'm doing well. I'm not going to do that. But there was a time I was thinking about doing it. And I certainly probably, if things hadn't gone well, I definitely might have thought that, oh, hey, there's always a possibility. And so while we're talking, he ends up saying something like, we're talking about like the perfect crime. And I said, let me tell you what the perfect crime would be. So here's what and he's like, what would you? I go, here's what I'd do. So I'd do partially what I did before, which was, I'd go out and I'd survey homeless guys. So I would survey homeless guys, but I would befriend one of them. If you were the guy, like as I'm taking your information, I'm thinking, oh, this is the guy. I'd be like, hey man, do you stay around here? Whatever. Oh yeah, yeah. I would say, hey, you know what? Do you have a phone? Let me give you a phone. Like I'd give him a phone, or I'd get his phone number. So I'd get his phone number because now they have the phones, right? Even homeless people have phones.
Yes.
So they got the Obama phones, right?
Yes.
So I'd say, hey, let me get your phone number so that I can come back because I'm gonna come back around. I'm gonna give you $50 in gift certificates for McDonald's and stuff like that. Like I'm gonna give you the $20 now for the survey, and then I say all this. Give me your thing. And, oh yeah, cool. Yeah, he gives me his number. I order all of his stuff. I do everything I'm gonna do, right? Get the fake ID, get everything. I start building up his credit, everything. But I stay in touch with him. I go buy a phone, a burner phone, and I call him from the burner phone. And I come by, maybe I give him some gift certificates. But I stay in touch with him constantly. With this phone, which I make sure it's a nice phone. It's like an iPhone 15, whatever.
Yeah.
I would then use that phone to call all of the banks to make applications. I would then, all the credit cards everything would be linked to this phone. Hey, the employer. Maybe I'd get another phone and then make sure there's phone calls to this one. Maybe call him from that phone. I just keep doing that. Make sure that everything's tied to this phone and maybe this laptop, whatever, iPad.
Yeah.
Borrow however many millions of dollars. And then once I'd taken the millions of dollars and I got the money, I would then track the guy back down and say, hey, bro, yeah, hey, here's another $50 in gift certificates at McDonald's, whatever. And I'd go, hey, by the way, by that point, I'd clean the whole phone up, put it into some kind of a case. Hey, bro, hey, you know what? The program I work for, because he thinks I'm a surveyor.
Yeah.
Here's a new phone. Give him the new phone. It's fucking 15, bro. You're using an 11. You're using an Android. Like, what the fuck? You got to use that. That's the better one. Oh, okay. He gets it out, no problem. And you go, yeah. Also, listen, I don't know if you know this, but the people donate these things. I've got like an iPad. Keep in mind, the iPad has all the W-2s. Everything's fake. Yeah, bro, you can play video games on it. You can give him whatever.
Yes.
Because you have to understand, maybe he gets rid of it. Maybe he keeps it. I don't know. But it's gone through his hands. He's probably used that phone. At some point in the future, when the FBI figures out that there's 5 mortgages and $2 million missing on this house, and it's all in this guy's name, and they track the phone number back to the phone that he either has on him right now, because it's the one I gave him, or maybe he just throws it away or sells it. It's going to track back to his old iPhone. So either way, he's interconnected with the whole thing. They're eventually going to grab him and throw him in jail, even if he can convince them I had no idea what was going on. They're still going to think he's linked in some way. And most likely they focus on him and they drop the whole thing. Like they stop looking.
Yeah.
We think he's involved. We think he's protecting someone. He's telling us there's somebody else. Either way, he's involved, and then he's done. They have somebody. If he has and I said, if he has a record, it's even that much better. Because now he's definitely, he's been a problem. Been in and out of jail. He knows, obviously this is one of his buddies. He clearly knows the guy. He's been calling him for fucking 3 months.
Yeah.
So I say all that. I say that would be how I would do it this time. They don't say this time. They do a clip where it says, this is what I was doing. Here's how I did it. And they do this short. Listen, that short got like 8 million views or something like that. Red then takes that, watches it. And when he's done, this motherfucker, fucking rat piece of shit, putting people in harm's way. He does the whole fucking thing. And I'm looking at it thinking, look, I get it. I don't mind you hating on me for what I did. But I
get it right.
I didn't do that. And it's funny because everybody involved in the production of this show are all willing to soil my good name for views. Like nobody. I even sent that video to my producer and I said, these guys are going to get me killed. They're going to look at this. I sent the red video to. I said, these guys, they're trying to get me killed. His response was like, the laughing emoji. Ha 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 ha. Like, are we worried about me at all in here?
So I never finished all his video, but how's he out if he was involved with Whitey? Did he?
I think he got hit for. I think he got hit for. He got hit for drugs. Okay, so look, let's say you're involved with these guys.
Yeah.
You know, you're getting away with a ton of stuff, right? Like these guys get away with, these mob guys, they get away with murder. They literally get away with murder, right?
Yeah.
And so when it all comes down to it, when Whitey and the gang kind of go down, he'd already been arrested for running drugs, and he'd already gotten like, I'm going to say 20 years. I don't know if it was 25. I don't know if it was 15. I don't know. He was already locked up. So when things start falling apart, he's in prison. He's hearing about it from other guys are coming to him and saying, "Hey, Red, did you hear about Whitey?" And he's like, "Nah, what?" And they're telling him he's a fucking rat. And initially he says when they were telling him he's a rat, he's fucking protecting him. Fuck you, that's not true. Get out of my face. Like he's ready to, what is it? Go to the mattresses, whatever. He's ready to fucking swing on him, right? But eventually it's so overwhelming that he realizes it's true. And then the other guys that are involved, and I forget what their name is. There's a couple other ones that were underneath Whitey that are cooperating.
Yeah.
So other guys in the prison go and say, "Hey, you hear so-and-so's cooperating." And one of the guys gets Red a message, and I think Red calls him on the phone. I'm not sure. I could have that wrong. But he calls. I think he's actually, because he makes it sound like he was talking to him when I'd watched one of his interviews. And he's talking to the guy, and the guy explains, he's like, yeah, he's cooperating. It's true. He's, but what does it matter, bro? Yeah. And he said right then, he said, I knew.
I saw that.
That motherfucker, he's gonna rat.
Yes.
And he said, it matters to me, and he hangs up the phone.
Yeah.
God, I can picture the guy too that he was talking to. But here's the thing: if you ever watch
Shemi? Sullivan? Sully?
I think it was Sullivan. I think it was. I think it was him, because he's the one who had a bunch of murders, right?
Yes.
But he got like 10 years or something, like for 6 murders or something. If you watch Red's interview on Soft White Underbelly, which is, which is a guy named Mark Leda, which is, amazing. You know what Soft White Underbelly is?
Young looking kid?
No, he's an older guy. He's probably 70 or 65 or 70 years old, and he's 6'4", looks amazing. He super smart guy, very professional, does these amazing. I'll send you one. I'll send you Red's.
Okay.
I did it also. So Red's interview, and I don't know the guy. I don't know Red. He obviously, has horrible things to say about me, and which is, they're all pretty much based on truth. So it's not like he's misinformed on everything that he's on his everything that he is basing his disgust of me with. But what's interesting is you watch that interview with him. He gets choked up, like he tears up, he starts crying. I mean, it's despite what he thinks of me, you understand that he was like this battered kid brought up in a horrible situation.
Yes.
And the people that stepped in as his father figures and that basically raised him and were there for that. These are the guys these are his mentors that took care of him, right? So he's a boxer, right? He's boxing, but he's not making a living boxing. And he's making a living working with these guys, and these guys have a code. And for someone who's raised in that horrific environment, he 100% believed in these guys.
He'd do anything for them.
He'd do it, of course. I have no doubt. And I don't know his whole story, right? I'm not going to sit here and say, oh yeah, he committed this murder, he did that. But I have no doubt that there's probably horrific violence and possible murders.
And that life, obviously.
Right. And this is a guy that I think for these guys would do anything they told him to, they told him to do.
Yeah.
So when that goes wrong and they start turning on everybody, his mental, his belief system is absolutely fucking shattered. And he realizes that, like, these guys, your idols played you, for a fool. Like, he had to be, one, he's disgusted with it, and he does the whole, fucking filthy rats and this and that. But I think really it's your idols were lying to you the whole time, and they played you, and they turned you into a soldier. I think that this guy right now, if he got indicted, I think even right now, even knowing everything he knows, he would never cooperate. Like, I believe there are some of these, and there are these so few of these guys left, right? Joey Merlino, do you know who he is?
Yes.
Skinny Joey Merlino?
Yes.
This guy,
he loves rats.
huh?
He loves
yeah,
rats.
he's thrilled. Yeah, he would never. Some of these guys is like that. If they have to die in prison and everybody gives up on them, but that's fine. Like, they've got such hatred in their hearts. I've never seen this guy Red smile or laugh or, the moment he starts talking about Whitey, he breaks down. He breaks down. And it's not because when I look at him break down, it's not like I genuinely feel bad for the guy. Like, I'm like, you were.
Well, like you said, that was like his father.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's a horrible situation.
And the worst thing is, Whitey was the whole time. He was
cooperating.
It wasn't just at the end. It was the whole time.
Yeah,
finding that out too. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah. No, you were not. And let's face it, the moment that if he could have offered up Red, he would have offered him up. Like, yes. He would have, like, he would have, you would have been on the, he knows that I would have been on the plate too. Like, my love for this person meant absolutely nothing to that person. And it's just, and you can see he's shattered. Like, he is psychologically just shattered for such a tough fucking guy. Cause he's a tough guy. He's not a mentally weak person. No. He's a tough fucking guy. And for him to, the moment he starts talking about it, he cracks. He cracks like a fucking egg. And you just think, like, this guy he's something that just, it doesn't exist anymore. Like, these guys don't realize, like, and I get it. They don't want to realize it. They don't want to admit it. And they don't, but, and they do know it's true, but it just doesn't exist, bro. It doesn't exist.
It was like my family, all my uncles, like, I obviously looked up to them. Like, they had balls. They did their time. They never said anything, I mean, they didn't do big time, 5 years, 4 years,
Right.
But still, I mean.
Well, it's easy to be a badass when you listen. The first time I got in trouble, I was looking at 3 years. I was fucking pretty tough, bro. I was a tough guy. I was going to fucking I didn't think I was going to do 3 years. Because
the first time
because they kept saying, oh, $500,000 is lost, $500,000, and I was like, there's not $500,000, and I knew if I can prove $500,000 isn't lost, I'm not doing 3 years. Like, I was just in my mind, I couldn't believe I was going to do 3 years, but I never. And my lawyer's telling me, listen, I can keep you from even being indicted. There'd only been a criminal complaint. Go get a bunch of your files, bring them here. Let's sit down with the U.S. Attorney and the FBI. I can keep you. It's called pretrial intervention. I can keep you from even being indicted. You should go on about your business. And I was like, and what? Do what the two snitches in my case did to me? I'm not doing that. I'd seen The Godfather. I knew what was up. I knew how to handle this. So I was like, I'm not fucking doing that. Besides, there's no money lost. There's no way I'm going to prison when there's no money lost. So it was easy being tough when you're facing 3 years.
Yeah.
Fucking 20, 30, 40 years, like the life sentence. I don't know.
Like when
I think we need to spread some of this around. That's what I think.
There's a court-appointed lawyer in the jail. Yeah, we have a court-appointed lawyer that will come to the jail and talk to us about our cases.
Is it just one for everybody?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
no, you get your own lawyer in Florida. You get your own lawyer.
No, we get our own lawyers, but then there's a lawyer that comes once a month, and they'll sit down and talk to you about you can ask them questions about
okay, never heard that. Go ahead.
So he goes, Mr. Aresco, facing over 100 years. I go, why would you tell somebody first time in jail? He says, I go, well, they could do separate. I go, no judge in his life is going to do everything separately. I go, where did you go to the lawyers? Well, you got a Walmart suit on, guy.
Yeah, this is I like to go to the jail once a month and scare the piss out of every fucking inmate.
I got up and I walked to my buddy. I go, you believe what he said to me? He goes, what? He goes, you strangled somebody. Relax, kid.
And who hasn't? Who hasn't dated some chick that you didn't listen? This one, I can't tell you how many times, but but I wasn't on Molly. So yeah.
And
Good
that
times.
person that gave me Molly, yeah, it's just like a Percocet. Yeah, perfectly. Yeah.
It's not, obviously.
Wow. I don't know. I look back and I'm like that because I'm different now. I got off probation early. I went in front of the judge and he was like, "Wow, I'm proud of you." I did 7 years on probation like it was nothing. Because I knew I was done. I knew I wasn't gonna do a drug again.
Yeah.
I knew I wasn't gonna talk to her again. I met somebody. I met another woman. Had a kid with her, and she's the best. I'm a different person now, I guess.
Yeah. I also think, you grow out of it. A lot of people will age. Some people will just kind of age out of crime, right? Like the stuff you look back when you were 21 years old and you would do. If somebody were to suggest it now, you'd be like, "Fuck you! I'm not fucking doing that."
Man, you know what was messed up? How I violated the restraining order. You know. And I was like, "You're on it," but she came to my house. He's like, man. She could be standing outside, honking her horn for 3 hours. If you make contact with her, you violate.
Mm-hmm.
It's so fucked up, though. And I was the case. Did you ever hear a story of Jerry Remy? He's a baseball player. He played for the Red Sox. His son kept doing the same thing, getting out of jail, going back with the girl. He ended up getting out of jail. 2 hours later, stabbing his girlfriend to death, where he stabbed her so many times he cut her head off.
I think I've heard this. Yeah.
And my case was right after that. Because before, when you got a domestic, it wasn't that bad.
Right.
But I was like right after that, and that's what they kept telling me. And I was like, but what does that have to do with me?
Right.
And they were like, that's just what happens, But, and then, I was going to do the sanity plea, and then I was like, I don't want to go back to that place again. No, that was, wow. I had people tell me that that's worse than going there.
Can you imagine being there for 2 or 3 years till they deem you sane?
Yeah.
Pass. Yeah, if you'd gone to like the prison, you know what I'm saying? Like, you would have been like fuck. We would be in the county jail. Well, I was in the U.S. Marshals holdover, which is basically the county jail for feds. And all the inmates were like, "Man, I just want to be sentenced to go to jail. I just want to be sentenced to go to jail." And I was like, to me, I thought jail was going to be way. I was like, "Well, isn't jail worse?" They're like, "Fuck no." I remember this kid Jeremy told me. He said, "Bro, I'll get off the bus, and by like count at like 4:00, I'll have new shower slides. I'll have coffee. I'll have a pint of ice cream."
Same thing.
Yeah, he was like, "I'll be fucking set." He's like, "Jail. I'll be walking the track right that night," and I'm like, Well, I want to go to jail. I mean, I want to go to prison. They all wanted to go to they in the county jail. They all wanted to go to prison.
The thing, your case too, I can't believe you got that many years. Because I remember you saying it wasn't even this much money.
Yeah.
Because didn't they like 2 times more than what you really did? They were trying to say.
Well, if they were trying to, they start off when you get grabbed, they're like, "Oh, they said it was 26 million." I'm like, "What? I'm fucking 26 million. Even if you added it all up, it's not 26 million." And then it went down to, they came back and revised it. It was 22. And I was like,
still,
there's
right?
no fucking, listen, there's no way they can prove 22. It never happened. By the time I got my PSI, my pre-sentence report, it was 9.5 million in restitution, they said. And I argued about that. I said, I'm not pleading guilty to 9.5 million. And I just said, I'm not, my PSI said 32 years to life. And I was like, I'm not. First of all, that's the max.
32 to life?
Right. That's the max they could give me. So I was like, yeah, I'll go to trial. Even if I go to trial and lose and you give me the max, it's 32 years. It's stupid to think that I would plead to 32 years. So they came back and they said, well, what do you think the dollar amount is? And I was like, it's not 9.5. They said, well, the next threshold is between 3.5 and 6 million. They said, do you think it's below 3.5? And I went, I had to kind of, well, no, it's not. But they said, okay, so we're going with 6 million. I said, okay, which was like 5,999,000.
So does that mean 3.5 million touched your hands, or they're saying, meaning you had that at one point?
Yeah, they're saying that at the very least, that's how much loss there was. So, in my opinion, there was. I mean, I don't know how much loss there was, but and keep in mind too, I didn't get all of them. Even if it was 15 million, let's say, I didn't get 15 million. You got 800,000 She got $500,000. This guy got $600,000. Like, how am I getting stuck with all this money? So I agreed that mine was probably between 3.5 and 6 million. But they were going to give me 9.5. Anyway, the point is we argued, and we argued some of the enhancements I got him to drop, and that's why it still was like 26 years. And when I went to sentencing, it was 26 years. But
Because she thought she was going to get some things dropped.
my lawyer thought she was going to beat some of the enhancements. She apparently was the only one because the judge disagreed. It still ended up being 26. And then it was, well, once you come back to be resentenced, once the court arrests all these people, well, they never arrested anybody. Not the court, but the Secret Service and FBI, they were launching investigations. None of those went anywhere. They all dropped those. And so, yeah, I was just left with 26 years.
And I watched the video where you thought the judge gave you that because he thought you were going to come back to get.
Yeah, he said that to my lawyer.
I didn't know that part until I watched it recently. I didn't know that part.
Yeah. So my lawyer at some point, I got on the phone and we were talking. And I was just like, keep in mind, she's a public defender. She didn't have to talk to me anymore. I'm done. At this point, the only thing left is for me to file a 2255 against her saying she's ineffective, that she's incompetent. That she knows that's the only thing waiting to come. So they keep answering. Someone will answer your phone call for like a year or so until your time bar, you can't file anything after a year in the federal system. So they kind of hold off. They'll maybe answer your phones every once in a while. They'll hold you off. And once they know it's over a year, they just stop talking to you because they're like, he's done. But she was still answering my calls. And one time I think she sent me an email or a letter and said, call me or something. For some reason, I called her. And I'd been locked up a few years. And I said, I said to her, what's up? And she said, listen, I had a really weird sentencing the other day. I was like, what's that? She goes, I was there for one of my other clients to be sentenced in front of Judge Batten. And I was like, okay. She said he got sentenced. And then after the sentencing, the judge called me back into chambers. She goes back into chambers and she said, what's going on? And he was like, he goes, what's going on with Matt Cox?
That's great.
It's crazy. And I know because I actually just mentioned it to a defense attorney I talked to yesterday. And he was like, I told him the whole thing. He goes, that's insane. And she goes, what do you mean? And he said, look, I don't remember the names of a lot of these people, these guys that I sentenced. He said, but you give a white-collar criminal 26 years, you remember him. Yeah. He said, and I was under the impression he was going to come back to be resentenced. And she said, well, none of the cases panned out. They dropped them because of the financial crisis. There were bigger fish to fry. They never did it. And so, yeah. And he goes, well, what's he doing about it? And she goes, what can he do? And he goes, well, I can't tell you what he can do. What I can tell you is he needs to get himself back in front of me. And she was like, well, so she told me that. I was like, okay, so what do we do? And she's like, well, there's nothing you can do. It's like, what the fuck are we talking about then? Call me up, tell me this, or have me call you to tell me. It just cost me $3.15. It was actually $3.50 for 15 minutes.
So you think if they said he's not going to, if they never mentioned that part that you're supposed to come back, you would have got less?
Yeah, I don't think that I think the judge would have taken more into consideration had the U.S. attorneys not continually said, Your Honor, and she says in my sentencing, Your Honor, I know 26 years is a long time, but Mr. Cox is going to be coming back here for a Rule 35, possibly 2. And then, of course, every time we make the attempt, she goes, no. So it's like, and so I think the judge, and I know in his mind, he did think that because he told my lawyer he thought that. That's what I'd been led to believe. And I gave him 26 years. Would he have gotten me, he may have given me a little bit less. Maybe he would have given me 5 more years off or so. I don't think there's much they could do at that time because of the guidelines. I had to stay within the guidelines or they could appeal. I don't think the government would have appealed if he had said 15 years. I don't think the government would have appealed. But it doesn't matter. Right? Listen, these guys, I don't think the judges know enough about the cases to and I don't know. Listen, I think all around, everybody's job in general it's a shitty position to be in. And I think that you basically almost if you're not a psychopath going into working as a judge or a U.S. attorney, eventually I think you become so numbed to the depravity that you see. I think you become numb to it, and And I think they stop realizing what's really happening, you know?
Yes.
Like, I think they say, 20 years, because you've said it so many times, you're not really thinking, wait a minute, wait a second, this guy was selling marijuana. Like, I get it, it was a lot of marijuana, but what are you doing? Or he was doing this, or the person was doing that, or like, what, that's a lot of fucking time. Like, this guy didn't harm anyone. Like, what are you doing? I just think that they don't, because let's face it, they were giving people life sentences. They were giving them 30, 40 years for marijuana at one point.
That's crazy to think
Yeah,
about.
I knew guys that were getting. I knew a guy that they pulled him over on the boat, and all they found was like the seeds and bullshit from the bales, and they weighed. They determined how much that boat could carry, and that's what they sentenced him on. You didn't even find any drugs. You don't know if it was 2 bales.
That's crazy.
You guys said it was no. It's 40 bales will fit here and this and this, and they did some kind of had some fucking captain say how much it was. Guy got 40 years. He did all of it.
That's crazy.
Captain. They called him Captain Ron. Captain Ron used to make paintings. He used to paint paintings of sailboats and shit and send it to his fucking wife. And she sold them at he paint in prison, little sailboats and shit and send them Captain Ron. Little guy.
So there was nothing there. They just determined on what could be there.
There was like shake. I think they call it shake, like the stuff that and seeds and shit. So they knew it was marijuana. They knew there was some marijuana there, but you don't know how much marijuana. So of course he went to trial. That was his problem. Is he went to trial. He probably could have gotten 10 years, let's say. But he said, "Fuck you. You didn't get nothing. You got me and 2 guys on a sailboat. Like that's it." And he said, "We're going to trial." He paid for everybody, and they all went to trial. And fuck you. Well, we're gangsters. 40 years. 40 years? Come on, man.
Well, it's the same thing when my house got shot up. They didn't know that I was selling weed.
Right.
But they told me, "Oh, thank God you talked because we were going to arrest you because we found scales." We found a scale.
Well, it could be this. Also, here's the thing too about the state. And I actually interviewed a guy that worked for the state, and he agreed with me. And everybody that's been through it agrees. A lot of times, what the state will do is they'll arrest you. They don't have a case; they have a hunch.
Yes.
They arrest you, they put you in jail, they charge you, they tell you you're going to get 20 years. When really it's like, yeah, but you know that when I go to trial, the judge is throwing this out because it's not illegal to have scales. You have nothing that, we arrested you on, let's say, paraphernalia. Yes. We're going to tell you you're going to get 10 years. You'll end up pleading guilty to 3 years probation, and then you can't sue us. Well, really all we had was a hunch. So now in the feds, if the feds come and they arrest you, they already know everything. They don't need your, they have a complete case. We've been working it for 18 months. We got you on 5 different recordings. We got all the wires we need. You're fucked. So now you cooperate, you're going to get 10 years, or you cooperate and you'll get 2. Or you can go to trial and lose and you might get 10, you might get 20. But we already have you. You going to prison that's inevitable. That's happening.
I was a Joe with a kid. He was 16 at the time. He didn't even know that his uncle was going into the jewelry store to rob it. The uncle shoots a cop that was in there, security guard. Mm-hmm. Before the security guard dies, he shoots the uncle. The kid he gets charged with murder because they said he was the getaway driver. But he was like, I didn't even know what was happening.
Right. He's saying, my uncle told me, hey,
sit in the car.
Sit over here, drop and be out in a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. And they charged him with the murder. He didn't get life. They gave him 35 to something. But, I mean, at the time, he was 19 years old. At the time he got the deal. I go, you took it? He goes, yeah, I took it. I go, I'm facing life. I go, I think that is life.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I knew a guy who was answering the phone for his kid's name was Lance. His dad he knew his son was selling ice, and he answered the phone they have him on like one phone call where the guy said, hey, can you tell Lance that I'm going to come by and get that? And he named it, 4 ounces or whatever what was, And he said, yeah, okay, I'll tell him. And so when they indicted Lance, they indicted the father, and they brought the father in, and the father said, well, I'm not going to talk to you. They said, okay, well, you'll get 10 years. I mean, because we caught him with so much ice, or we had so many control buys. This is how much he had. This guy's been buying from him for 2 years. Lance is going to get 20 years. You're going to get 10. He said, oh, fuck you. I'm not talking about my son. He got 10 years.
You got 10 years?
He got 10 years. He just took it. I'm not going to testify against my son. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, and here's the thing. That prosecutor went home that night and slept like a baby. He told himself he did the world a favor by taking that father out of society. He told himself, I did society a solid. I did humanity a solid. I scraped the wart off of the face of human. I'm a good person.
That's crazy. Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy. Like, I don't know
For a phone call.
For a phone call, and like, my son's doing something wrong. I'm not doing anything wrong because I wouldn't cooperate. Because I'm not going to cooperate against my son. And that's it. 10 years. Like, come on, man. You could have given him probation. You could have dropped the charges.
Definitely probation.
You know? But
I don't know. Sometimes this world's just messed up, Matt.
it is. So you know what you do? Is that when some guy calls and says, hey, tell Lance, and go, fuck off. I'm not telling Lance nothing. That's between you and him. Matter of fact, Lance, you got to move out. You got to move out. Son, I think I know what you're doing. I'm sorry. I love you. You're my son. Thank you. But you're going to have to get your own apartment. You can't be doing that shit around here. That's just how you have to. Unfortunately, that's how you have to be, because we do live in a kind of a police state, you know? You know that because if the police knock on your door and you immediately get scared, you live in a police state, bro.
The other day, a week ago, by accident, I hit emergency.
Mm-hmm.
They kept calling me back. I didn't know that I did it. I kept getting a phone. I just kept hitting. I'm getting ready for work. All of a sudden, I hear a knock on the door. My heart's already pumping. 11 o'clock at night, a knock on the door?
Right. If you sleep hot at night, you know how disruptive that can be. When you're not resting well, everything else feels harder. Your focus, your mood, even your recovery. GhostBed is here to help you fix that. They've spent decades perfecting how to build a bed that's comfortable, durable, and designed to actually help you rest. Every GhostBed mattress features premier materials, proven cooling technology, and their exclusive ProCore layer, a targeted support system that reinforces the center of the mattress, where the body is heaviest. It helps keep your spine aligned and your back supported, so you can wake up ready for anything 2026 throws at you. Each mattress comes with a 101 night sleep trial and a 20 to 25 year warranty, so you can try it risk-free, knowing it's built to last. Shipping is fast and free. Most orders arrive in 2 to 5 days. GhostBed has great prices to begin with, up to 50% off comparable brands. And Inside True Crime listeners can get an extra 10% off site-wide for a limited time. Just go to ghostbed.com/Cox and use promo code Cox at checkout. That's ghostbed.com/Cox, promo code Cox. Upgrade your sleep with GhostBed, the makers of the coolest bed in the world. Some exclusions apply. See site for details.
I look through the peepholes, the coughs. I go, babe, get over here. I open the door. They're like, Mike Aresco. I'm like, oh my God. They're like, did you call 911? I go, no. I look, and that's what it must have been.
Right.
And my heart was jumping. My girl's looking at me like, what did you do? My girl doesn't think that if you get stopped by the cops, right, that they're going to be okay with, I was like, babe, I'm a criminal.
Yeah.
They're definitely going to take them off to no good.
Yeah.
She goes, no.
Remember Boziak? My buddy Boziak says, listen, every time, he's like, if the cops drive by me and see me, they pull me over. He's covered in tattoos. They search his car. He said every single time they search it. Search his car, give him a hard time. And I'm like, well, look at you, bro. He's like, yeah, but he's like, I know what it is. I know. And then, of course, they run his record.
Oh, that's even
in
worse.
and out of federal prison multiple times. It's like, we got to search her car.
Yeah, she doesn't think, babe, they're not just going to search your car. I go, babe, I have a record. This was when I'm on probation. They're searching this car.
Yeah. Yeah, they think I'm up to no good.
She goes, no, the world's not like that. Because she never got in trouble before, never did anything wrong. You know what I mean?
She probably believes everything they tell her on CNN's true, too.
Yeah. Like, you would never think a girl like her would go out with tattooed, jail. You know what I mean?
It's the bad boy. I can fix him.
I dated a few girls. Like I was like, I don't think so. Pretty fucked up. I think that's what the rich girl that I dated. I think that's what she thought she could do.
Yeah.
She could fix me. You know. I mean, the money was great, but she asked me one time. She goes, "Me?" She put a pill down on that she found of mine. She goes, "Me or that?" She didn't have to finish the sentence. I already grabbed that up. And took
Yeah,
it.
I'm already popping it in the.
You didn't have. I never thought I would get clean. I have a brother, 45 years old. He lives in the street. And when I can't find him for months at a time, I get nervous, you know. And I'm like, dude, why don't you? Like, I can't do it. I can't do it. Because we got him clean once. We got him a job. He lived at my house for 3 months. Doing perfect. Prostitute called him from New Hampshire. He was like, I got to go. Took the money he had saved, and three days later, he was broke.
I have a friend that cleans up for a year and a half. As soon as he gets a new car, a new apartment, his clothes, he's got everything back. He's doing well. You talk to him and you say, man, he's doing great. And then you'll get a phone call from his sister 4 days later saying, have you seen Bill? And you're like, no. Why? Has he called you? No. Why? He hasn't been to work in 4 days. I'm worried. And then 3-4 more days later, you get a phone call. Can you go pick up Bill? He's at the 7-Eleven. Pick him up, and he's hanging out with a fucking prostitute. He's like wearing a pair of shorts and one shoe, and you're like smoking a cigarette, and he doesn't smoke, and you're like hops in. Hey man, what's going on? What's going on? Where's your phone, Bill? I fucked up again, bro. I fucked up. You fucked up? You're driving. Where's your car? The fucking drug dealer's got it. Because they'll sell it to the drug dealer and drive them around as long as they keep giving them, rocks. Yeah. It's like you sold everything, your phone, everything. I stripped you of everything. Your bank account's overdrawn. Everything's gone. It's like 18 months is gone in a week. And you're in debt $2,000. Like, I owe this guy $2,000 to get my car back. Can I borrow something? Get the fuck out of here. You got to get out of my house. Like,
I have a sister. She would give the car to the dealer. And my father one time, he goes, Mike, she lost the car. I just got a call. It's why would it be in Lawrence? Lawrence is known for
drugs.
Yeah. I go, Dad, what do you think?
Right.
What do you think? No, she's clean now. You think?
She was clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been 4 days.
She would do that. She's been good now lately,
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I would get calls. I'm like, oh my brother wants nothing to do with her anymore. She's just too much, man.
Yeah.
She did the thing. I don't know if you ever heard. She would take a credit card, go to Victoria's Secret, and get whatever the credit card was, buy all $50 gift certificates, and then sell those for half price.
Yeah. For cash.
I was like, I didn't even know you could do that.
Huh.
I was like, wish I knew that when I was an addict.
Yeah, it's a horrible situation. I think, and at some point you get to that point where it's just like you can answer the phone, you can text them, but I'm done. You know what I'm saying? And I've got multiple friends. Like I help lots of guys, and I'll help them once or twice, and then you get to the point like, yeah, it's too much. I can't. Like you can, if you're gonna clean up, you're gonna clean up. You don't really need my help.
I never forget. It was November 3rd. I got picked up for violation of restraining order, and I sat there and I go, I never forget. They gave me the McDonald's through the thing with the little juice, and I sat there. I go, I'm done. I'm never doing. And I don't even drink. I maybe have a drink once a year, something like that.
All right.
Nothing. No more.
Yeah.
Not even cigarettes.
You're probably just aged out of it.
I mean, I smoke bud once in a while,
Right.
but nothing no more.
Hey, you guys, I appreciate you watching. Do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you get notified of videos just like this. Also, if you want to get in touch with Michael, do you go by Michael or Mike? Michael, then we're going to leave his YouTube channel in the description box. So just go into the description box, click on it, shoot over there. You can subscribe to his channel. He's going to be putting new content on the channel probably by the time this comes out. Once again, you guys, I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. See ya.